Exploration games in 2025 are going next level. Massive open worlds, insane detail, and freedom like never before. Seriously, you're going to spend hundreds of hours playing these. I'm Ace, and today we're checking out the 10 best new exploration games dropping in 2025. Number 10. So, Where Winds Meet is honestly one of those games that just feels different the second you see it. It's this open-world RPG set in ancient China. But it's not just about fighting, it's about philosophy, choices, and survival. You're kind of dropped into this massive world during the end of the Ten Kingdoms era, and everything around you feels alive. Like villagers react to your actions, wild animals roam freely, and the landscapes, man, they're breathtaking. Rolling mountains, bamboo forests, and these misty rivers that feel straight out of a painting. What's cool is you're not locked into one role. You can be a wandering swordsman, a healer, a merchant, or even just live life peacefully. Combat is really fluid, blending martial arts with acrobatics and traditional weaponry, and every strike feels precise. The world also gives you freedom. Want to challenge corrupt officials? You can. Want to just explore the mountains and meditate? That's possible too. It's kind of like a mix of history, legend, and personal storytelling, all wrapped in this gorgeous open-world design. Number 9. Ghost of Yotei feels like a spiritual cousin to Ghost of Tsushima, but it has its own identity. The setting is around Mount Yotei in Hokkaido, Japan, during a dark, war-torn period. Snow blankets everything, and there's this haunting silence in the air, broken only by the clash of blades or the howl of the wind. You play as this lone warrior seeking revenge, but it's not just a simple revenge tale. It's about honor, survival, and the spirits of the land. The environment is brutal. Blizzards can actually become enemies themselves, hiding dangers and slowing your movement. Combat feels sharp with samurai duels, stealth assassinations, and even supernatural elements, like whispers of yokai lurking in the forests. It's very cinematic. You'll see snow scattering as swords clash, or the camera pulling back to reveal a duel under the northern lights. And the story kind of pushes you to think about how far you're willing to go for vengeance and what it costs your soul. Honestly, it's chilling, but beautiful at the same time. Number 8. Tainted Grail. The Fall of Avalon is this dark fantasy RPG that takes Arthurian legend and twists it into something way darker. Imagine a world where the myths you know, King Arthur, the knights, Avalon, have all kind of crumbled into decay. The land is being consumed by this eerie force called the Word, and it warps everything it touches. Villages become nightmarish, forests grow twisted, and creatures you once thought noble turn monstrous. You're not some chosen hero. You're just a survivor struggling in this broken world. The combat is gritty, very medieval, with weighty sword swings, shields, and brutal survival mechanics. Exploration feels unsettling. Fog and shadow cover everything, and you never really know what's waiting ahead. The cool part is how choices actually matter. You'll meet people who force you into morally gray decisions, and the consequences don't just vanish, they reshape the world around you. It's honestly less about glory and more about surviving in this bleak, cursed Avalon that feels alive, dangerous, and unpredictable. Number 7. Monster Hunter Wilds is like the next big step for the series, and it's wild, literally. The environments aren't just bigger, they're alive. You're dealing with ecosystems that change in real time. Sandstorms, migrating herds, predators stalking prey, all while you're just trying to hunt one massive beast. The monsters themselves look incredible. They're not just enemies, they feel like living creatures with their own routines, habits, and reactions. And this time, the world isn't just about the monsters. It's about survival too. You'll ride across vast open plains, explore dense forests, and survive harsh deserts, all while preparing for your hunts. Combat feels more fluid, more connected to the environment. You can use terrain, weather, and even other monsters to your advantage. What's really cool is how the game pushes teamwork. Whether you're hunting with friends or solo, every fight feels like an epic battle of strategy, patience, and skill. It's kind of the biggest evolution of Monster Hunter yet, and every hunt feels like a story you'll want to tell. Number 6. So, Borderlands 4 is back with that over-the-top, chaotic energy, but it's also pushing things forward. The humor, the wild characters, the insane gun variety, it's all there, but this time the scale feels bigger. The world is more connected, with planets that actually feel alive instead of just backdrops. You'll see dynamic events, NPCs reacting to what's going on, and environments that feel way more immersive. The gunplay is still insane. Millions of weapons with ridiculous effects, but now there's more strategy to how you use them. The story digs deeper into the chaos of the Borderlands universe, and it's not just jokes. It's got heart too. Co-op is smoother, the loot system is smarter, and honestly, it feels like the definitive Borderlands experience. It's not just about blasting enemies, it's about surviving in a universe that's loud, crazy, and unpredictable. And yeah, it's still one of the funniest, most stylish shooters you'll ever play. Number 5. The Alters is such a unique concept. It's not just another sci-fi survival game. You're stranded on this alien planet, but instead of building a base the usual way, you're building it with versions of yourself. Literally, you create alters, clones of yourself with different skills, personalities, and perspectives. And that's where it gets interesting, because it's not just about survival, it's about how you interact with your own alternate selves. Some might agree with you, some might clash, and the choices you make affect how they see you. The world itself is hostile, with strange landscapes, alien storms, and constant threats. But the real challenge isn't just outside, it's inside, and how you manage this crew of you. The game blends resource management, narrative choices, and psychological tension into something really fresh. It makes you think about identity, survival, and what you do if faced with your own alternate selves in a life or death situation. Number 4, Crimson Desert is this massive open-world RPG from the makers of Black Desert, and it looks absolutely stunning. The world is gritty, brutal, and alive with detail. You play as a mercenary fighting for survival, but it's not just about battles. It's about the human struggles behind them. The landscapes range from snowy mountains to bustling towns to war-torn battlefields, all filled with life. Combat is fast, cinematic, and brutal, mixing hack-and-slash action with tactical depth. What sets it apart is how alive the world feels. NPCs go about their lives, weather changes dynamically, and every region feels unique. The story is personal, focused on the main character's hardships, but it also expands into this massive conflict tearing the land apart. It's both intimate and epic at the same time, giving you moments of quiet survival and then throwing you into massive cinematic battles. It feels like a true next-generation open-world RPG. Number 3. Light. No Fire is one of those games that feels almost impossible when you first hear about it. It's a survival exploration game set on a fully procedural planet, and the crazy part is, it's as big as Earth. You can literally travel across mountains, forests, deserts, oceans, and it all feels alive like a real place. There's no set path, no strict story pulling you around. Instead, it's about carving your own journey, deciding who you want to be in this endless world. The visuals are breathtaking, but it's the scale that really blows your mind. You can meet other players, build, survive, or just wander and see what's beyond the next horizon. And because it's procedural, no two journeys feel the same. Light No Fire isn't just a game you play, it's a world you live in, one that dares you to go as far as your curiosity takes you.
Hell Is Us flips the action-adventure script with a raw, instinct-driven approach. You're navigating a semi-open world without a map, compass, or quest markers, just whatever your senses pick up. You wield melee weapons, swords, axes, spears, because bullets do nothing to these supernatural beings called Hollow Walkers. That drone companion? It's not just for show. It distracts enemies, helps you scout, and adds strategy to every fight. You play as Remy, a UN peacekeeper gone rogue, returning to the war-ravaged fictional country of Hadia to find your parents. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the world is brutally atmospheric. Think crumbling landscapes, misty ruins, and ominous hell pods, massive dark orbs that pulse fear into NPCs and hint at deeper horrors. The vibe is haunting, grounded, and emotionally heavy. Developed by Rogue Factor, the minds behind Mordheim, led by Deus Ex art veterans, and published by Naken, Hell Is Us launches on September 4th, 2025 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS. A demo drops August 12th, 2025, let you taste the tension before the plunge. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, the core hook here is turn-based combat, but with this wild artistic twist. You're not just picking commands, you're literally interacting with every attack in real time. Think parries, dodges, timing windows, all while these surreal visuals melt around you. It feels like someone took classic JRPG mechanics and said, what if we made this feel like a performance? You're leading this crew on a mission to stop this entity called the Paintress, who wipes out humanity in cycles. And yeah, it gives the whole thing this desperate vibe. But like the strategy, it runs deep. Positioning matters, managing buffs and debuffs matters, and when those cinematic finishers hit, it's just gorgeous. The world itself feels almost like a living painting, with this blend of soft colors and sharp, eerie designs. It's unsettling but elegant at the same time. Every enemy looks handcrafted, like a nightmare wrapped in oil paint. And the music? It's got that big dramatic score that really drives the tension mid-fight. Honestly, if you're into games like Persona or Final Fantasy, but want something with a darker edge and way more interaction than just spamming attacks, this is one to keep on your radar. Death Stranding 2 on the beach leans into that terrain traversal gameplay you know, but with more action and options. You're hauling cargo across massive open worlds in Mexico and Australia, using vehicles like the Tri-Cruiser, armored pickups, and even tar boats, all customizable with guns, batteries, or sticky cargo-grabbing tech. Combat isn't shoehorned, it's woven in. You can sneak around using non-lethal gadgets or go toe-to-toe with BTs and those new ghost mechs led by Higgs. Headshots trigger brief slow motion so you can line up the next shot. Boss fights are cinematic and intense. And it's more dynamic. Day-night cycles shift enemy behavior, storms and earthquakes, chiral-influenced gatequakes, warp terrain, forcing you to rethink your route mid-delivery. Infrastructure building returns, plus new tools like monorail zip you across the map faster. Under the Decima engine, the visuals are sharp and soulful. Sweeping Aussie deserts, flooded ruins, and aurora-lit skies bookend your paths. Harsh lighting, swirling fog, and weather that changes the world, not just the sky, layer in that uncanny, melancholic beauty Kojima is known for. Assassin's Creed Shadows is wild. You get to switch mid-game between two totally different playstyles. On one side, there's Naoe, a sleek shinobi assassin who's all about stealth and speed. She's got daggers, a Kusarigama chain weapon, and can pull off double assassinations like it's nothing. On the other side, there's Yasuke, the legendary samurai. He's raw power, brute force, and honor, smashing through enemies when you want to cut loose. You can bounce between them, and it just changes everything. Plus, there's a spy network thing. You recruit spies to gather intel, build up a hideout, customize it to be your ninja HQ, and manage your arsenal from there. It's tactical, stylish, and keeps you on your toes. This might be the most visually stunning AC game so far. Unreal Engine powers it, so forests, towns, seasonal changes, they all look cinematic. Shadows, fog, cherry blossoms, and weather that actually changes how you move and react. Critics have been calling it the most beautiful game Ubisoft has made. The game finally dropped on March 20th, 2025 across PS5, Xbox Series XS, PC. The Outer Worlds 2 takes the core first-person RPG formula of its predecessor and injects it with even bolder action. You step into the shoes of an Earth Directorate agent navigating Arcadia, a colony ripping apart from reality-warping rifts and factional warfare. The gameplay blends guns, melee, grenades, and dynamic dialogue options wrapped in action-packed combat. New features include third-person support, sci-fi weapons like shrink rays, and armor crafted from living matter for that quirky obsidian flair. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, this sequel cranks the visual fidelity to max. Expect lush, alien backdrops, warped environments, and sci-fi weirdness done right, down to floating rifts and shifting landscapes that feel both stunning and unsettling. Arcadia is falling apart, torn between militaristic control, cult-like corporate zeal, and visionary scientists worshipping patterns. Your mission? Unravel the rifts while choosing who to trust or betray. Companions like Niles, Inez, Aza, Marisol, Tristan, and Valerie bring personality, unique motivations, and narrative weight to every decision, even if romance isn't on the table. Dune Awakening isn't your typical survival game. It's a full-blown open-world survival RPG with MMO vibes. You start out as a prisoner on Arrakis in an alternate timeline where Paul Atreides never existed. You're scavenging water, crafting still suits to stay alive, and building outposts while avoiding sandworms, crippling heat, and rival players. You can join House Atreides or Harkonnen, master schools like Bene Gesserit or Swordmaster, and eventually even ride a sandworm, or at least work toward it. Craft vehicles, trade spice, build bazaars, or fight your way through the desert. The world responds to how you play. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the game makes Arrakis feel alive and brutal. Think vast dune seas, shimmering storms, flash sandstorms, and social hubs littered with players and ornithopters. Sand glints, skies shift, and shadows seem to move. It's gorgeous, oppressive, and immersive. The narrative kicks off with a twist. In this universe, Duke Leto survived because Lady Jessica followed Bene Gesserit orders. With no Fremen left, you're the Sleeper. This unofficial agent plunged into Arrakis, tasked with uncovering what's happened while navigating the deadly power struggle between Atreides and Harkonnen. Hollow Knight Silksong takes the smooth, Metroidvania vibes of Hollow Knight and cranks it into Hornet's fast-paced, acrobatic assassin style. She's agile, winding through enemies with needle strikes and silk-powered tools. There's crafting now. Hornet can make weapons, healing items, and gadgets on the fly. Combat? Precise and rhythm-based, rewarding timing and movement. You can challenge yourself with the hardcore Silk Soul mode once you finish the story. You play as Hornet, captured and transported to a new, silk-drenched realm called Farloom. Your goal? Fight your way up to the Citadel at the top, facing over 200 new enemies and more than 40 epic bosses. The narrative unfolds through exploration. Unearth the history of this hauntingly beautiful kingdom and your own connection to it. After years of waiting, Hollow Knight Silksong is officially launching on September 4th, 2025, across PC, Nintendo Switch, and Switch 2, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Xbox, day one on Game Pass. Team Cherry mentions they're already thinking about DLC, so the story might keep weaving even after the credits.
And yeah, those were like the best 10 new exploration games in 2025. Each one kind of gives you a different way to, lose yourself in these worlds. Whether it's climbing mountains, riding across open fields, or just discovering the unknown. So if you're into exploration, this year's packed. Thanks for watching, and hey, don't forget to check out more if you want to keep exploring with us.